Hey, good evening mga kalaro and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro lang channel where Sport Titos talk about a different type of game, the reality game show that's been running for over 20 years, Survivor. We don't have Chief Bistak, Joel Parkon, with us tonight. So instead, we're going to have the inmates run the asylum. I am the Juxtapetito, Jao Atienza, and over there we have the man with the thoughts. The man with the thoughts, Martin. Hey, man, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just doing fine. Now I heard you have your own Q skirt with you, but it's too
right here,
hot right now.
here.
It's too
Yeah,
hot.
it's too hot for me to wear this Q skirt,
And
but I
you don't
was
wanna
wearing it. I was wearing it
you
earlier,
are.
but because of the oppressive heat, it was like,
Yes.
can't do this, can't do this. I'll just throw it over to
But
the
you know
back.
what else is hot right now, man? It's the latest episode of Q-Viver. I mean,
Q
the
Viper.
latest episode of Survivor 46. Man, this is one of our favorite episodes so far this season. I remember, like when we were chatting, all three of us.
Yeah. Just so that everybody knows, Joel isn't doing very well tonight, and instead of not talking about what I think is the best episode of the season thus far, we were like, we will let the inmates run the asylum tonight. So we are talking about episode. What episode is this?
It's not several. It's episode 8, I guess.
Yeah, we're talking about episode 8. And we're going to look at our highlights, our lowlights, and do a little bit of predictioning.
Yes.
Predictioning, I like that. So what are your highest of the highs, Marts?
Well, literally, the highest of the highs in this episode was a man called Hunter, who's literally high up top in their camp, man. That was nuts. Like, it's not just him, but it's the whole hide and seek situation, which is also the title of the episode, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty hot. Pretty hot.
Pretty
hot.
Oh, pretty hot. All right, pretty hot. What do you? It's interesting, right? Does this mean that Hunter is on his way to win the season of Survivor? Because the last time somebody like had the win in the immunity thing where they hug a pole, you know, like the last person that won that won the season, and they had it set up as well.
Whoa.
Right? Because I don't know, people on the internet were calling it last season, right? Like these freakishly large toes are going to come in clutch when she's like holding on to a pole and all of that, and that like foreshadowed her immunity win there. And like now it feels like Hunter climbing up the tree foreshadowed his immunity win here. Are we seeing a Hunter winner's edit?
Oh no. Well, I mean, if it's not his win in Survivor, at least we know he's gonna be the state hide and seek champion where he lives. Because dear God, he's so talented. But yeah, let's give credit where credit's due. I also loved how Ben, like of all people, uses used everything else just to hide himself too. Like camouflage and stuff. That was wild. That was wild from Ben.
Is this Ben foreshadowing to win? Because he was, after all, hiding in plain sight. Well, Hunter was also hiding like in plain sight. Yeah, like Gabler, right?
The difference was Ali Gabler was below.
Yeah, but then Hunter is like
Hunter was high.
Hunter is high.
And like a lot of positioning in Survivor is like for past 40 seasons, who else was given that shot? Well, not the shot of he's so high up and you see the surroundings. He's not getting the Aussie edit in this case, But those who are always in one with nature, Tyson won, but he never was one with nature like a coach or an Aussie or or a hunter. I'm hopeful that this means Hunter will have a long run. Hopefully, this doesn't jinx the fact of me saying that or us saying he's might be a shoe in to win and he gets voted out the next episode.
Well, I'm just gonna say though that like if we're talking about predictions and whether or not Hunter is going to win, I think he had a really bad week this week.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say that after the hide and seek thing because yeah, you win hide and seek, you won immunity, but I think you lost the game. Okay,
So
shit.
like yeah, if we do see Hunter get voted out, we're going to be looking back at this episode and pointing
Actually,
to it as like,
yes.
yeah, this is the episode that Hunter lost Survivor.
Mm.
But you know,
But from
but for
episode to
now,
episode, it seems like the first guy we want to talk about who lost Survivor would be Q.
oh, Q, dude, is Q
Uh,
secretly a genius or is he just like a horrible player?
what has your brother said? Has he replied? But I think he refuses to comment.
No comment.
Like myself.
We sent each other pictures of of hoodies. We're like, here's my Q skirt. And I was like, is Q secretly a genius or is he just messy? And then like he didn't reply. It's like, oh, oh, oh. No
I
comment. No
don't
comment.
know. But hey,
Yeah.
there might be a future with Q and apparel wear, you know. We may be joking now, but he might be the next next Jan Sport, the next Nike, the next Adidas.
It's just called Q, right?
Yeah,
But
just Q.
this is something that we find in a lot of like modern like survivor players, right? In this particular new era, a lot of them try to sort of parlay their 15 minutes of fame as a survivor player into some sort of like merch store on Etsy or whatever. Like I
Okay.
know that others have, you know, merch that's themed after them. I I,
Ah,
I don't I don't know. I don't have anybody like right off the top of my head,
all right.
but it's something that has been discussed, and it feels like it's becoming more and more common with a lot of the survivors now. Like Q does have a merch store. He doesn't sell Q skirts though, which is like the
Damn
most
it.
ironic thing. I'm not sure. He might soon, but like I think as of the moment, it was like Q skirts coming soon or something. But yeah, that is cute. So like this hide and seek is very much a
Really.
highest of high moment as a piece of entertaining television. But it kind of shows to me that all of the players this particular season are playing really
Cool.
spiky games. Like if we're familiar with Magic the Gathering terminology, like hyper competitive, like trying to ladder kind of players.
So that's a spike. Like, are they like the min max kind of guys?
Yeah, those types, the
Okay,
min
okay.
max types.
The min
Yeah,
max
yeah,
types.
yeah. Charlie pretty much said that, right? In Tribal, where he was like, we played hide and not Tribal, before
The
the
immunity
challenge.
challenge. He said that to
Yeah,
Jeff, right? Said
yeah, yeah.
we're so competitive. We were trying to not be found. The hide and seek game.
Charlie is so good, right? Like we have this coworker, I had this coworker in the school that I used to teach at, who taught marketing,
Uh-huh.
and he was really big on using social media as a platform to build your own personal brand. And this dude was like a social media savant. Um, he was mm, he wasn't, let's say, he wasn't my favorite person in the faculty room. He was fun to have around, but let's just say that he wasn't my favorite person in the faculty room. There were people in that faculty room that I was much closer to, but this guy was like a social media savant. And Charlie seems to be a survivor as a show, not survivor as a game necessarily, but I think he's a very good player of the game. But as a show, as a fan of the show, or um, as a as a character in the show, he fits into the sort of production of it very well by doing things like looking straight into the camera. Um, what was it that Joel was calling it? Um, like that guy from the character in The Office that always looks straight at the camera.
Oh gosh.
Um,
John Krasinski or something, right?
but so like
Oh,
what's
the
his
character. The character. Ah,
yeah, but yeah, like what's it is very good at that sort of thing,
Jim.
right?
Identity theft's not a joke, Jim.
Like Charlie is really good at that. And like something that,
Like
whenever he
helper.
talks to Jeff in like tribal or in what do you call it? In the immunity challenges and confessionals and stuff, he makes reference to other things that have been going on.
Exactly.
So, without being necessarily prompted at tribal, he might talk about something that happened in the immunity challenge. As was shown here in this episode, Charlie talks about the hide and seek thing while they are preparing for the immunity challenge, and he's really good at kind of guiding the story along. Like that's something that I noticed about Charlie. He's really really good at that. Like he knows how to set narratives, and if I were to do the sort of pseudo scientific Hugh trying to figure out it's not pseudoscientific, but the whole armchair psychology bullshit thing that he was trying to pull, talking about hide and seek. Um, Charlie is a Charlie is a great player of the game because he knows how to do things like create narratives and all of this sort of thing. And I suppose that's my high, dude. Charlie had an amazing episode.
Well, don't ask you about Charlie in this episode. Because I think he was pissed during the immunity challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, are you stepping in or what? Would you help us with rice? Oh,
To be fair, right?
fair,
Charlie did
man.
have a really good shot at winning. He
Yeah.
was like
He was final, how many? Two,
like
three?
three, right?
Yeah.
Or two or three, right? It was
It was
um
Marie. No, it was Hunter and then him and Maria.
and Venus.
Venus. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another thing, right? Because Venus tried to call her shot, and I was thinking like, all right, here's my low key winner pick. She's going to win this immunity challenge because she's light whatever.
Confident.
Yeah, and she's confident. Then Charlie also said like, "Yo, this looks like I really want to play this, dude." And Hunter, the one that ended up winning, was the one that was the most low key about it, right? That I can remember, but I don't know. I don't know.
Wasn't he even like open to the fact, like, yeah, if you guys are for, I'll try to join you, like, kind of like that. Though we know he wasn't gonna join those guys just to get the rice.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Jeff is gonna give them another opportunity to get Rise, right? Like, I'm pretty sure there's some sort of health code violation if they keep him without food for too long.
yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
But it's
It's
going to come at a greater cost, I suppose.
oh okay. So I guess it might technically be a low right now for me. Uh, but we're still in the high, right? Okay, so
You know what, man? The inmates are running the asylum tonight. Let's just flow freely between
oh,
our
freely,
highs and our
okay.
lows.
All right, so
We're like we're we're
with the
we're
tide,
fluid tonight. We're
we're
fluid
fluid. All
tonight.
right, we're fluid. So we were talking
We
about the
don't say come on in,
challenge.
guys, anymore.
Come on, it's now come on in, right? So
We use
back at the
singular they
yeah,
now.
back at the challenge, man. Like you saw the rice, right? One of my lows would be, well, there's no knifey, stabby, stabby. But
Yeah.
I think that's what you were alluding to. Maybe that's in the next episode, right?
I,
Maybe. I hope. Because like I
yeah.
was waiting when he was counting down to one or zero. Knife pops up and it
Yeah. I was
nope.
I was I was waiting for the knife to come out. I was like, all right.
That was like, oh.
Didn't he make like some sort of comment last season where like he always has a knife in his pocket or something?
Yeah, like I thought he was gonna do that again this episode. That's one of the lows. I'm like, oh man, come on, yeah, come on. Like, I
Yeah,
thought
there
he was
was
gonna do that. Better hurry up, guys. Stab.
there was no like urgency in it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, he was counting down, but then, there's something about like a blade that makes things a little bit more exciting.
It it's weird because it seems like he was more satisfied with this ending. Is it because everyone wants to do the challenge except two other guys.
I mean, if there's something that we know about Jeff from listening to his thoughts in the On Fire podcast and like all of the other interviews that we've had of him, the thing that Jeff Probst values when it comes to Survivor as a show is novelty, right?
Okay.
He wants things to be new, different, and exciting. So it's part of what makes the show so uh
Mm,
leggy. It's part of what makes the show so long lasting, right? Because of that sort of constant need to reinvent the show and have, different themes and whatever is popping in. I mean, admittedly, it's been kind of samey, but then it's also kind of differenty in the new era, with little tweaks here and there. And so, like, yeah, this is the first time in the new era that the rice negotiation didn't
oh,
yield any rice.
huh.
No rice like sprang forth or whatever. So, like, that's something new. And I suppose to Jeff, that would be something exciting.
Okay, well, and then that's
Yeah.
a survivor first for him, right? I
Yeah.
guess.
Or Survivor New Era first? Yes, I don't know. Um, bring back the final two hashtag. Um, and bring back two tribes if we really do want things to be different.
Yeah, that's
So
true, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah,
I'm not sure if this is a high or a low, but like,
what you got? What you got?
um, folks this season seem to be so cruel.
Wait, cruel in what sense? Like the cast members or the audience as
The
the
the, the cast,
focus?
the
Ah,
cast,
okay.
the cast. Like, look at what's his face? Look at Tevin. I mean, it did kind of lead to a high in the sense that there was a little bit of comeuppance, right? Where he gets
Yeah, he
cocky
got
about the soda vote, and he's kind of cruel to my girl Venus,
Venus.
and as a result, he gets voted out. So that was quite cruel of him, or at least it was portrayed as being quite cruel.
So,
And
what's your
the
take on it, though? Whose idea was it anyway? Was it Venus, Tevin, or even Liz? I don't know. I got confused even in this episode. So apparently it was Liz.
Liz
Wha-
Liz gets the
When did Liz come out of it? And I'm sorry. Like we watched episodes several, right?
she's been hiding in plain sight.
When did she ever brought up soda? Liz.
You know, uh,
What? I
we,
would
we
like
we give the
doing
move
that, but like,
we give the move to Tevin, and here's why. The show is telling us that it was Tevin's move. And there was a point there was a point this episode where Charlie was like, Tevin is a super strategic player. He orchestrated the soda
yes.
blind side, blah blah blah. So regardless of whose move it was, the show seems to be giving it to Tevin. This is
Right?
basically me saying like Joel's canonical winner pick got
It's Tevin.
booted out, and I argue that it should be Liz now. We give credit to Liz for taking out Tevin because she was the first person that uttered Tevin's name
Yeah,
in the vote out.
yeah, that's uncontested for me this time. But like when he was saying that, the soda part, like what? What? What?
Was
What
it
is
actually
going on?
Liz? God, this is
I,
such a great
I,
episode. It's so messy. I love it.
damn, it's not our girl Venus. This like people like, not acknowledging the talent and genius of J Maya. It's J Maya all over again.
I don't know. I really like the hot messiness of this season. Like something that we've been critical of is that Survivor has a tendency to cast gamebot types, right?
Well, recently,
And
yes, recently.
right? And even with this season, like to an extent, we can call them game bots, but then at the same time, these are game bots that are like melting down. You know, these are
Oh
like
God,
game
yes.
bots whose circuits are being fried by the elements, and it's glorious to watch. I really like this messy Survivor. It's tremendously frustrating, I'm pretty sure, for people that are looking on and saying, like, you know what, I can do better and all of that stuff. But hell, it makes for such great TV.
I mean, partially the reason of people being hot messes are they're out of their element anyway. Lack sleep, lack food, lack everything, right?
Yeah.
Uh, we can see that, but like that episode where Hunter was doing the logos. I don't think we can. I don't think I can last 3 days.
Yeah. But so there,
Yeah.
Tevin was
Oh man.
kind of cruel, man. Like we heard a new laugh, right? Maria said that that's a new laugh from him. It's sort of
Oh
like
yeah.
that Fred Flintstone kind of yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah. Like that sort of laugh where it's like coming from more of the diaphragm than the throat. Like pretty soon we're gonna be sounding like Sylvester Stallone.
Red road. But man,
Got
I'm
hit
gonna
in the face one too many times.
I'm gonna miss Tevin because he's but
Yeah.
he's in the jury now, so I hope we get that catty jury look like
Yeah,
super
that's
reaction
something I'm
like
looking forward to.
Tevin and Soda. Oh my god. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, like to see what a well-fed Tevin is probably gonna have like the greatest facial expressions.
Yes.
So that's a
Uh,
preemptive high for next week, shall we
yep,
say?
yep, yep.
But then like
Well,
another instance of cruelty this season was in the secret scene when
oh, okay.
Maria confronted Ben after the Tim vote out, right?
Ooh.
Like that was quite it added a lot more context, I think, to when Ben was in the ocean with Venus and Charlie, I believe it was in the scene. And he was saying something along the lines of sometimes, we have this, it's a game for $1 million, but sometimes we have to pause. Or whatever it was that he said at that point. And if you watch the secret scene, you can kind of see uh what he was in a way kind of going through. I don't know. Because after
Okay.
Tim gets voted out, he goes up to Maria and starts to sort of confide in her, right? Like, Tim was my homeboy or whatever it was that he
Yeah.
said. He was my rock, right? Like, you know, come to think about it, right? Like Ben has stretched sort of the definition of the word rock, or he's used rock, I think, in every like definition that the word rock has. But yeah, he was talking to Maria about how he was really bummed out that his closest friend on the beach, in the person of Tim, had just been voted out. And then Maria just lays into him like, so did Tim leave with your idol? I'm like, oh my God.
Oh.
Like, and like now that Tim is left, you start talking to me. What about the last 2 days? Whatever. Like she was really like laying into him. And like by the end of the secret scene, um he started crying again, which is like, oh
Oh
dude,
man.
Maria went down hard. I mean, I can understand where she's coming from, right? Like, um, you know, they never resolved the idol thing properly, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
Um, because like it was Gem, right? Gem left
Yeah.
with the idol in her pocket,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
nobody knew that she had the idol. And so people were assuming that it might be Tim, it might be Ben, whatever. And Maria, not suspecting Gem because Gem was like an ally and she figured that Gem would have told her, and knowing that Charlie doesn't have it because Charlie would definitely tell her, had no other logical place to go other than it must be with the boys. And so she just kind of laid into Ben in the secret scene. And it showed a very different side of Maria. And it was, I would describe it as kind of cruel, which is which is actually a good thing for Maria's prospects on this show because they didn't show that particular secret scene. But yeah,
Yeah, that's. Uh, how was that similar to her trying to, get Jelinski to easily, give up on that island with him and Tevin? I think she
um,
was a bit tough, quote unquote, on him, even though it wasn't as tough.
yeah, sort of. But then
Similar.
it wasn't. Um, it was it it was like your mom getting mad at you when you know that you did something wrong and you are repentant for it.
Yeah.
Like that was the sort of vibe that I got.
Yeah.
Even though it really wasn't what was going on, that was kind of the vibe that I got from it. And so Ben tremendously bummed out. And then tremendously bummed out sitting on the beach, and then Charlie sits next to him and is there for him. Um Charlie playing a really good game.
Actually, yeah.
Uh so yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of there's a lot of mean people this season, or at least the gameplay is kind of mean this season,
Mhm.
which is fun actually.
Which is a welcomed change for now, because
Yeah.
I think, yeah, even Jeff was playing with kid gloves like until last season, where Catty
Yeah.
Jeff kind of, sprung out. Even this season, he's just more coming out in,
Yeah. So
uh,
they're coming back. I mean, they're going back to being a little bit more catty, I guess you
yeah,
like you said, or I don't know. Um
sassy Jeff, sassy.
like even Jeff described at the end of last season, or in like an interview in the Rob Sesternino interview, he described the season this the gameplay this season as being a little bit more, I don't know, cutthroat, I guess.
I think. Oh
Like
yeah, he did. Like the one before the season started, right?
yeah,
Oh
like
well, yeah, yeah.
he mentioned that.
Oh my God,
And
that's true.
you can kind of see what he means. Yeah.
Hmm. Actually, it's coming into fruition, like at this point. So, oh, I wonder what betrayal will happen before the final episode. Like something like that, right?
So
Um,
this is my
yeah.
prediction. Like
Okay.
I'm gonna have a prediction that I'm going to predict each and every week.
Mm-hmm.
That Maria and Charlie are going to turn on each other, obviously, right?
Obviously,
That's not a prediction necessarily.
but
But the prediction part of it is
because of.
Charlie is going to be the one to turn on Maria
Oh no way!
because the show seems to be protecting Maria
Ah,
by not showing the scene with Ben
oh my God!
in the main show, right? Like it's not a canonical it's not canon to the show, right? It's a secret scene, so it doesn't form part of Maria's narrative. To show Maria as, somebody that can be mean, if she gets blindsided by her closest ally, we're like, yeah, um, what's the term that people use? Deserved, or whatever. Like, yeah, that was completely deserved. But that's not what they're showing with Maria. So they want her vote out to be something that that we feel kind of bummed about, right? I think,
Mm.
and that's why I think Charlie is going to be the one that turns on the Reliance when the time comes. But that's neither here nor there.
No, it's not actually. So, what else have you thought of for at least a low, or you're all good with your lows as well?
Um,
Man, not pretty good.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's just no knifey stabby stabby. No stabby
Yeah. I
stab.
mean, like the lows are kind of just gameplay lows, right? Like
Yeah.
I have like production lows and gameplay lows, and the lows that I have are basically gameplay lows. Um, how the six has never actually been a six.
Oh my God. What
right?
kind of alliance is that?
The single worst alliance. Well, I don't know. Um, the
So,
worst alliance in the new era, right? Because
like,
they keep on attacking themselves from within. This gives me hope for my canonical winner pick, in the person of Kenzie, because you know the
wait,
people that seem to be the safest are the people that are not part of the six.
wait, who was Q's plus one? Was it Tiffany?
Tiffany, right?
Oh, yeah, Kenzie wasn't. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my
Right?
god.
Because like so far, everybody that's been voted out was part of the six.
The
So
supposed safe six, right?
yeah, yeah. So right
Ah,
now, the people that are safe are
ah,
Hunter, Venus, Kenzie.
people who are not there.
People
The
who are
the
not part of the
outliers.
six. Yeah, yeah, right.
Oh my god. Okay. Well,
But Charlie was talking about like, in these sorts of alliances, something goes wrong. Am I going to be the thing that goes wrong? No, Charlie, you're not going to be the thing that goes wrong because everything is already going wrong. Like,
everything. Literally everything. Like, oh wow.
yeah,
He's like that guy from Community. He comes back with a box of pizzas and everything's like, on fire. People are fighting. Like, just
yeah,
just got pizza, guys. What the hell?
yeah. That was
Oh,
a great episode of Community. That
oh
that was the
yeah.
multiverse episode,
So you guys
and
better
yeah,
check it out. Is it available on? I don't know where it's available on, guys. So just find it where your streaming platform is available.
I remember watching it on Netflix. But yeah, so the
Ah,
the the
there.
six the six was never actually a six. Um,
Wow.
it's always going to be a six, right?
It's
Like at
always
the
gonna.
final six, it's going to be the alliance of six, but it's going to be like it's like the ship of Theseus, right? Like by the end of it, the people that are going to be left are going to be Hunter, Venus, and Kenzie. And by that time, they would have been brought in as part of the six. But are they still the same six?
Nope.
I don't know. Ship of Theseus.
Yeah.
But yeah, there. And the other like gameplay low.
Oh, okay. What do you got?
Obviously Q and his tribal thing, right? And sort of as an addendum to that, or as sort of an auxiliary to that, Hunter had a really bad night.
Hmm.
So yeah, you want to talk about tribal council and the crap show that was tribal council?
I mean, kudos to Hunter for sticking with the plan. Heat Nail would be proud. But he's on the outside of the vote. What, again? I don't know. It feels like that's the case. I know he wasn't last episode, but it feels like he was.
Yeah, but
Ah,
the sad thing is he knew what the vote was and he was
I know,
defiant,
right? Like, dude, he just told you it's Tevin. Vote Tevin. Done.
right?
So, like,
Go with the flow. No matter what happens, we continue vote Tevin. But yeah, man. Um, really, really bad night
ah,
for Hunter. Um, but Q though, what the hell was Q thinking?
Q's just gonna Q, man. Like,
It makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder about that first episode Jelinski, where Jelinski gave up on the sweat task,
uh-huh.
and during the exit interviews, Jelinski insisted that Q was the one that brought it up first. The Q was the one that brought up quitting first. And everybody was like, no, that's impossible. You see, Q, he's such a competitive guy, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, little by
Initially,
little,
yeah,
you know,
little by little.
little by little, he's like, yo, you should vote me out, Kenzie. You should vote me out. And like, no,
Like,
like, the person that's going home is me.
I hate to use the term again. He's sad boying this whole damn season. I hate it. You know, I hate it.
But then again, was it a big brain move for him to say like, "Hey, vote me out"? I mean, I don't know what the big brain move could be. Some, some pundits on Reddit are insisting that yes, that was a move of some kind. Uh, do you think it was a move, or was he like earnest about it?
It was unnecessary move, if ever it was a move. It's like you already have instructions from like the tribe.
Mhm.
Tevin is the one we vote out. And we're just
Yeah,
gonna make it ho hum, low key, simple cut and dry plan. And then the
right.
same dude that just told you it's Tevin is like, hey guys, you know what? That's so competitive, blah blah blah. Hey, vote me out. I'm like, see, this is why everyone doesn't like you, okay? But just for the sake of our game, we'll vote Tevin out. And then we may deal with you in the next tribal if you pull this shit again.
You know what I find so funny though? Um, it was only after Hunter, uh, when Hunter tried to, at the last minute, take the vote off of Tevin,
Mm,
right? It was like Charlie was talking about like plans at the 11th hour and all of that sort of thing, right? When Hunter was going around trying to gather everybody
mm.
to say like no, not Tevin, let's not vote out Tevin. And Q was like, that's not part of my plan, right? So is this like a frustration thing where like it doesn't go according to his plan, therefore like he must fall on his sword?
Uh,
Is that it?
could
He's
be
that much of
also.
a control freak. He's like Katura's nightmare.
Oh my god. Couture's nightmare.
If Katura was on this season or if Q was on last season, like I am pretty sure, Ponderosa would have been, you know, but whatever.
Oh,
Was it a move?
I think it was just, unnecessary if it ever was. It's like the he said that more than one time, not just in tribal, right? Even at the beach, even wherever. And like I'm pretty sure people just got sick and tired of this. Oh, here we go again. That kind of story. But technically, I feel like it's a move, but it's so unnecessary
Mm.
because the vote proved it. Like if they really called his bluff and said, you know what, F you Q, we'll keep Tevin. Tevin would have stayed, Q would have been out. Technically, his move would have worked if he got voted out because he wanted to be voted out.
All right, so you do think he wanted to be voted out, and it wasn't some sort of like brilliant play that we aren't seeing yet because like we don't understand his vision.
It's not even a play because even without his prompt, people already wanted Tevin out.
Yeah.
Like it's like everyone had. It's like Liz, or Venus or Tevin, whoever started it. There was already that Russell seed to take out Tevin.
Russell Seed.
I don't even like you, Tevin. I'm not even in the season. I don't like theater. I like film. Like film.
God, I haven't heard
Sorry.
the Russell Seed in like anyway in forever.
Oh god,
Oh man.
sorry for my Russell voice. It's a bit rusty. It's not the greatest voice impersonation ever. Oh god.
About that tribal though, it felt the whole live tribal in the end was kind of useless.
It
Just
was. It
putting that
was.
out
It
there,
really
it was
was.
useless
It's like
because the
every
plan.
live tribal I've been having, like pre season 40. I think it gotten a bit tiring before Winners at War when they were doing that.
Hmm.
when it came back, it was more bearable, but I hope they don't do it every other episode or every episode. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah, but then like in the live tribals, in the new era, have they affected the outcome of the vote at all?
in this episode, no, but I feel like when was the last one? Was it last season? I remember there was last season. Was there?
The I remember that the sort of live-ish tribal thing was. Oh no, that wasn't. Huh.
Right?
I mean that's just a thought that I'm putting out there. I have the survivor memory of a survivor goldfish, so like I don't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure that like the live tribals in the new era haven't really affected the votes all too much.
Yeah, all too much. But I remember recently something happened. They were having one name, and then the live tribal happened, and it's someone else who got kicked out.
Oh,
It's
okay,
it was a season 41 onwards.
okay.
So I know it works, but in a sense of it worked because A, they were doing it live, and B, that person totally bombed their confessional totally bombed it in tribal. That's
Oh,
why
all
they
right,
had
yeah,
to
yeah.
change it. That's why
Okay,
the live
yeah.
tribe, like, oh my god, this guy sucks.
This is
Talking
Banu.
about what? Oh my god, yeah, wasn't there a live tribal with Banu?
I don't know. It was he got voted out. But
But
there,
Banu
there.
stayed, right? That episode.
I,
Oh my god. It just happened this season. We're sorry, guys. We're sorry. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's good. What else? Like, god damn, man. I was looking for Ponderosa. No Ponderosa vids. Yet.
yeah,
Has there
I'm
been?
still,
Kevin's already there, guys. What are you doing?
right. Tevin and Zoda.
So yeah,
This would have been like the most like musical Ponderosa that we're ever going to see.
would
Like
have
I'm
been
pretty,
great.
I you know,
Been
I
great.
wouldn't be surprised if like while they were there, they produced like an entire R&B album or gospel album or something.
Maybe,
I can't wait for that to show up on Spotify or like something.
I'm really trying to figure out if there was. What's ever happened to Survivor Ponderosa? Um,
Hmm.
it seems like there is on TikTok, but I doubt this is real Ponderosa. Have you been checking out the YouTube if there was?
I haven't been able to find anything. I do know that a couple of seasons ago they had, little shorts, right? Like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
one or 2 minutes that were just kind of meh, nothing great about them. I really like it in Australian Survivor where they have the jury villa because like
Oh,
when the person that gets voted out enters the jury villa, all of the food is there and they're like, "Oh my God, wow, chicken is delicious," and whatever, like wine.
yeah.
Oh, so hungry, mate. Right. And then they start talking strategy. It's part of what happens in the jury villa. Like they talk strategy, what was blah 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 thinking when they voted this way. And it gives a lot of insight into the game that's already or it gives a lot of insight into the game that's going on. I feel really bad that like US Survivor doesn't have that. So
Oh, yeah.
there. With that, any other highs or lows or mids?
Oh, mid. Well, Q's game is a mid. Sorry, Q.
Uh,
He's our punching bag in this episode.
you know what? I'm going to say it. Q is secretly a genius. I'm going to defy everybody and say Q, secretly a genius. I'm
Well,
probably going to have egg on my face, but Q, secretly a genius.
I mean, we've already claimed Jelinsky is a genius and has a legacy that went on after episode one, and it has.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end of the season, you know, just like Jelinsky, Q would be seen as a genius. And they should have listened to him all along because he had sound advice in the game and everywhere. even in life. But yeah,
Oh
you were
man.
mentioning this earlier. So before we do the predictions, what did we get right? What did we get wrong last week?
We pretty much got everything wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, let's just disregard our predictions from last week because they were also we were all like, what, six people play their shot in the dark. No, this was like a totally straightforward vote. The Journey Alliance comes together. No, they didn't.
It fell apart in the seams again.
Yeah.
Again. Oh my god.
And so before we go into our predictions, our survivors of the week.
Hmm.
So Marts, who do you have for the survivor of the week this week?
I hate to say it. Liz. She took control of her claims. It wasn't Venus. It wasn't Tevin. It was Liz. Why? Because Liz just kicked out Tevin. That's why. Like from start to finish, she got what she wanted. You know, establishment of her game. So credit where credit's due. That was wow. That was wow.
Hmm.
So good on her.
I'm gonna say Charlie, and
Okay.
if I didn't say Charlie, it would have been Liz. And because Charlie has also had a really good week this week. Um, he was a great narrator for the episode. His insights were what uh we kind of agree with. The six, is it really a six? You know? Yeah, so there, Charlie,
All
survivor of
right.
the week. What about your goat
Oh,
of the week? Who lost the
Q's
week this week?
Q stays on top, man.
Oh yeah,
No question.
definitely,
Just
definitely,
Q.
definitely. Q's
Okay.
game. Q's
It's
game.
Q's game. It's Q's
You know
game.
what? You know what's ironic, right? I do see a fairly deep run for Q. It's Q says he don't play old Survivor by bringing goats to the end. You got to play Q's game. I get the feeling that little by little, Q is becoming a goat in the Survivor sense of the word. Like, he's somebody that probably won't get too many votes at Final Tribal because
Oh
of
yeah.
how abrasive he is and how his big hero six is just falling apart at the seams. The first chance that it had to fall apart, right?
Yeah.
So that's the irony. And I suppose um I wanted to say a different name for goat of the week and make things spicy, but no, man,
Oh no.
it's got to be Q, right?
Undisputed for this episode.
I'm pretty sure that when Joe listens to this, he's going to be nodding his head, being like, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So
Although I will say that, like, the Q skirt is great.
it's a good idea. It's a very fine idea.
Yeah.
But now let's go to you're wearing something. Purple of the week, I guess.
Um.
Mine would not even be a cast member. And I think you know what it is.
You know, for me, the purple of the week is any sort of sense in tribal council. It's like
Yeah.
the the worst, like, tribal council. I mean, which is great TV. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah, it's a good TV.
but
It's
it was like
just
so dumb. Everybody when they were walking into like their confession, walking to the voting booth was like, yeah, this is really dumb. So uh whatever it was in the air that makes for an amazing tribal council, at least in terms of gameplay and strategy, well, that is obviously not there. So that is the purple of the week for me.
uh, for me, it would be the knife. Where's the knife, Jeff?
Where's the knife, Jeff?
Where's the knife, Jeff?
Hashtag bring back the knife.
Yeah. So I think that's what we got for this week.
Predictions.
Okay, predictions. What's the next episode title?
Whose line is it
Indeed.
actually?
Yeah.
Spicy Jeff.
Wait, that's the title?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we at least attribute it to someone who keeps saying the word spicy this season? Because there's only one girl, right?
Mm,
Obviously, I gotta pick Kenzie.
yeah.
That's it. She was saying spicy in the previews as well, and this episode.
Yeah. So I mean, there spicy Jeff. You know. So what are your other predictions that this time we're absolutely going to get right? Right, we're gonna get at least half a point between the
Q,
two of us next week. We're gonna get at
okay.
least half a point.
Q will not ask anyone to vote out for him this coming episode.
You won't ask to be voted out.
Wink.
Wink, wink, nudge,
Why?
nudge.
Why not? Right? Why not? I want to be hopeful. I want to be. Uh, sorry. Damn the heat, man.
Okay, I'm gonna say that Q gets voted out. Q
Okay.
gets voted out.
On an episode, he doesn't want to ask anyone to vote him out. Right? That's like
Yeah,
the biggest irony yet. I would love
yeah,
to see that. I'd love to see that.
yep.
I'd love to see it.
What else? What else do you have?
God dang. How about this? We get a immunity run by Hunter. It's
Mm,
not gonna end by next episode. It might end by the episode after. So like a 3 immunity streak, maybe.
mm. Because yeah, he has to.
Yeah.
You know what, man?
Gonna
He
have
should have
to.
played his idol for Tevin. Just saying, but um,
Oh my god. Yeah, he had oh wow, yeah. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
that was a blunder. But speaking of another blunder, Q telling like Maria and Charlie about what's her name's idol, about Tiffany's idol.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's gonna blow up. I think that's gonna blow up in the first part, as we saw in the red herring next time on Survivor.
yeah. So we're in agreement with that as the prediction as well. Like
Yeah.
the idol thing.
Mm.
What's it? Q telling Maria about the idol blows up.
Yeah. We're supposed to follow the train queue. To follow the
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but yeah, that's
Uh,
for me. That's all I got, man. So
Hunter immunity run. And I'm going to be predicting this each and every week until it happens.
okay.
Charlie is going to turn on Maria. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Okay then. Okay then. That's gonna be very, spicy, what Kenzie would
Oh,
say.
oh,
That's
oh,
what that's what somebody would say. You know what I mean? Anyway, so
yeah.
I guess that's it for us, right? So where can they listen to us here,
Oh no,
man?
wait. I'm
Oh,
gonna I'm
there's more.
gonna
There's
say I'm
more.
gonna say one last thing
All
before
right.
we do the outro spiel. Um, Usually we have a Martin's thoughts with Martin, or when when you were out of the country, and Joel and I would do our recording. It was a Martin's thoughts with Martin sort of situation. Um, I say we uh I say we have Joel do his predictions and
Okay.
put them right here. Jump cut.
And we're back.
Yeah, and we're back. Yeah. I totally agree with everything that he said, man. That's exactly what's going to happen. Wouldn't you agree?
Very, very hot take and spicy take from Joel.
Yeah,
If I
a,
do
tr- a
say so myself.
tremendously spicy
Spicy
take.
take.
Like Banu coming back. Oh my god, who would have thought? Who would have thought that?
Wait, he said that?
Did he not?
I thought he said mermaid or dragon.
Dragon.
In any case, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Please don't forget to hit subscribe at the Laro-Laro channel here on YouTube.
So we don't get voted out of the channel. That's one of Joel's
Yes.
cool lines.
And if you don't want to see our mugs, you can listen to us at any podcasts where you can find like Spotify, Apple Pod, or even Stitcher. Oh, wait, Stitcher's gone. Rest in peace, Stitcher. On
Aw.
behalf of our Sportito or Chief Bistak Joel, my name is Martin.
And I'm Joe.
And Titos have spoken.